Hello, and welcome to the Buttercut Podcast, the newest edition of the MWBK Creative Podcast Network. What's up, Pete?
What's up? That sounded good.
Not so bad, huh?
The newest creation.
Yeah, came out hot.
Yeah, love it.
The voice you're hearing, that's Peter the Irish guy.
That's
my
me.
co-host. My name is Bradley Key. I am the host of this podcast. This is the Buttercut, our PGA Tour golf podcast. Here we are, major championship.
Big week.
That's right. It's the Open Championship, and we're here to preview the tournament, the history of the tournament, the course, go through storylines,
Talk about some of the
picks.
nightmares I had on that golf course while I was playing it.
Okay, so let me frame this up for the audience just so they know. So Pete hails from Northern Ireland, right?
Yeah, I'm from Dublin, so I'm from the Republic of Ireland. So Northern Ireland, different country in the United Kingdom.
Okay.
But it's funny, in golf, it's all kind of one island. Mm-hmm. You just play for Ireland, so they kind of consider it's a really odd dynamic.
So would you call this a home course for you?
Kind of, yeah. You kind of call it home open, even though it's in Northern Ireland. It's a different country. I was just texting with a buddy of mine today who mentioned Shane Lowry playing well, and I kind of said, well, there's a lot of pressure on the Irish, and he was like, well, but they don't in Northern Ireland, they don't give a shit about him because he's from the Republic. But yeah, I don't know. You'd have to kind of consider it a home tournament since it's on the island of Ireland. But yes, it is Northern Ireland.
So to tie this all together, the Open Championship is being hosted in Northern Ireland this week at Royal Portrush. And
first time since 1951.
Right. Which, you know what surprised me the very most about all of my research I did for this whole podcast?
Yeah.
There's only 14 courses that have ever hosted the Open Championship, and there's only 10 that are active. I didn't realize how limited that field was of potential venues.
Yeah.
And also, you just said Portrush it's only hosted one time, and that was in 1951. So its next chance is in 2019. Kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's weird. The Open have their little rota that they like to go through, and if you get kind of taken off it for whatever reason, Portrush was taken off it, and yeah, there was a lot of push to try and get it back, and a lot of big Irish players. It kind of helped that Darren Clarke and McIlroy and McDowell and Harrington, they had all kind of won a major championship as well.
They had
so you had some kind of notoriety of guys pushing for it, and thankfully the RNA decided to let's go back there. Which it's going to be fucking awesome because it's a phenomenal golf course.
Yeah. Everything I read about it is just it's the most beautiful, astounding, great course. The other thing to note here is that, like we said, Royal Portrush last hosted in 1951. And at
Max
that
Faulkner won.
That's actually amazing that you knew that off the top of your head. That was also the first occasion that the Open was not held in Scotland or England.
Yeah, first time ever. And the only time ever.
The only time ever. So this is the next instance of that situation. So it's kind of worth noting.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting? It's never been held in Wales. Like, what's fucking Wales got to do? Royal Portrush. They've got a couple of good golf courses, although Wales is kind of a little shithole. But they do have some good golf courses where you could... Royal Portrush would be the one where you go over. They held a senior British Open, but only Scotland and England are the only places that have courses on the Open Rota.
So let's run through a quick overview and a little bit of background into the tournament here. So this week, the golfing world heads to Northern Ireland and Royal Portrush Golf Club for the Open Championship. This is one of 4 major championships in professional golf. It's the oldest major of the 4, and it just so happens this year, for the first time in a while, it's the last major of the 2019 season because the PGA Championship has
moved up, and it's cool. The only disappointing thing is it was kind of like once the last major of the year was done, you kind of had a break for a while in golf, and you try to get interested in the FedEx Cup. Not really. Maybe if Tiger was in it, you would, but it'll kind of feel like, Jesus, golf is over after this week. It's fucking July. What the fuck?
The next major isn't until August 2020, 9 months from now.
Yeah, or until April.
Yeah. I said August. I was looking at A's.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy to think about.
Okay, so a little bit more history. Hosted annually in the United Kingdom, the Open is the only major that's played outside of the United States, and it's always played on a coastal links golf course.
Yep.
pretty standard stuff for
the Open
golf, right?
Yeah, the Open. Well, not really.
Not necessarily.
Well, not necessarily for European golf. No, for this tournament, it's always playing.
Which is the only tournament I know about, like the only one that I regularly watch in Europe. So
normally the rest of the European Tour events are on
like inland,
inland Parkland American kind of style courses. Yeah. But this is the one that's always on links.
So like we touched on earlier, only 14 courses have hosted the Open. 10 are currently active as part of the rotation. The other 4 have been retired. The format for this tournament, it's a 156 player field.
Yeah, massive big field. The other crazy thing about that is if you see what time they start tomorrow. So the first tee shot, or Thursday, the first tee shot is like 6:30 a.m. Darren Clark is actually going to hit it.
Are you talking local time there?
Yeah, local time, 6:30 a.m. local. Mm-hmm. The last group tees off at 4:19 p.m. local.
Yeah, that is outrageous. What, does it stay light there, like super late?
Sunset is 9:45 p.m.
Is it just always light there?
Yeah, in the summer, it's we would play golf in the summer, and I remember teeing off at like playing golf all day.
Yeah,
going in, eating dinner in the clubhouse, then coming out, teeing off at 8 p.m. and playing 18 holes.
Bullshit.
Teeing off at 8 p.m. and playing 18 holes in. Yeah, because it'd be bright until like 10:30. You run around, play a quick little fucking 18, and it was amazing. Yeah.
How'd you sleep?
Did it loads of time. I mean, you were a young kid, so you sleep great. Care. No.
You don't know any different.
No, exactly.
I mean, I just know that whenever daylight savings time hits here and like I can play till 8 o'clock, it's like the greatest day ever.
Yeah, man, you can play till like 10:45.
I couldn't imagine. Yeah. Awesome. People are going to the bars.
Yeah.
Anyways, so like we said, 156 player field. Tee times. Over the first 2 rounds, players go off in groups of 3, with each player getting 1 morning and 1 afternoon tee time. So on Thursday and Friday, you get it.
Which is a big deal in terms of the Open. It's
because of the weather.
Right. It's the one most important where the draw, you either get fucked or you're golden, right? So and
there's no in between. Like always one side is better than the other, right? You just don't know
nearly always, right? You've no idea which one. Because
do you know if it tends to side with morning or evening?
Yeah, it tends to be kind of similar to any coastal venue. It tends to be bright and early in the morning, is calmish.
It's the best time.
Then it gets later, and then late at 8 p.m., 7 p.m., it's real calm again, right?
The breezes start blowing in. Rain, all that stuff, right?
So the middle part is usually the shittiest part, right?
Okay.
Like it is here. However, in the island, it's such a small little area like the UK and United Kingdom, where that kind of goes out the window a little bit, and it'll just determine. Like, I mean, you could wake up at 6:30 on Thursday and it's fucking blowing 40 miles an hour and pissing rain, and it's like 6 in the morning. You're just like, oh fuck. Like that's got to be the worst when you wake up early and it's pissing rain, because it's much colder as well.
And we were talking a little bit about forecast before we started.
It's awful.
It looks nasty out there, right?
Yeah, it's been beautiful all week. It was beautiful again today. I actually got sent a bunch of videos by mates of mine who were up there for the practice rounds, and it's sunshine. All the players are in t-shirts and shorts.
Yeah.
And but last day of that, tomorrow the weather gets shitty. And if you look at the forecast, it says wind and rain for like the next 10 days in Portrush. So would that be something that traditionalists would celebrate? Like they're happy that they're going to be difficult conditions, and it's going to be just chaos and carnage? Yeah, I'd love that. Now,
that seems like it would be awesome, right?
It also doesn't mean that that's going to be the weather. It could be fucking sunny and beautiful.
Things change every 12 hours,
very,
right?
very, very quickly. But
it's a coast.
Yeah, if it is piss and rain, it's going to be great. I love watching that. Love watching players fucking shoot millions and just get pissed on. It's just funny.
We covered the first 2 rounds. Over the second 2 rounds, players go off in groupings of 2, with last place going off at the beginning of the day and the leaders going off at the last tee time of the day, which is pretty par for the course standard. The cut, after 36 holes, only the top 70 in ties play the final 36 holes. All pretty standard. Traditions, the winner of the Open Championship.
The champion golfer of the year.
That's right. But before that, you win the Claret Jug.
Yeah.
Did I say that right?
Yeah, it's the most famous trophy in golf, I would say.
I would say so. Yeah. So the winner is presented with the Claret Jug, and it has been that way since 1873, every single year. The winner is also announced as the champion golfer of the year, which is hard to say.
They also win the gold medal. It's always the way they announce it is winner of the gold medal and champion golfer of the year is.
That's right. And they've used the term the champion golfer of the year since the tournament's inception in 1860.
Wow.
That's
cool.
insane, right?
Yeah, that's cool. What else you got?
Up until 2016, the purse was always stated and paid in pounds sterling.
Yeah.
But was changed in 2017 to U.S. dollars in recognition of the fact that U.S. dollar is the most widely adopted currency for prize money in golf.
Okay.
To give you a sense of how much it is, the purse in 2018 was $10,500,000.
Yeah, a lot of money. It's
Big boy.
About $2 million to the winner, something like that.
Not a bad day.
Yeah, great day.
The course. Let's run through Royal Portrush Golf Course, specifically Dunluce Links.
Dunluce.
How do you say it?
So Dunluce. It's the Dunluce Links. Yeah, so there's actually two golf courses in Portrush. There's one's called the Valley Course and one is called Dunluce. Both of which I've played. The Valley Course is kind of the shit course. You know, there's always one good one, one shit one.
Well, one's like top 5 in the world, and one's like probably one of the best courses I've ever seen in my life, right?
Well,
or is it not that good?
If you went in and played there, you'd fucking think it's amazing, right. It's a links course, and it's a fun course to play. It's a lot easier than Portrush. Mm-hmm. You can make a lot of birdies.
Right. Do you think it's better than the Punta Cana Resort golf course?
It would definitely rival the Punta Cana Resort. Mm-hmm. It would the weather wouldn't be nearly as good as Punta Cana.
Less motorcyclists,
and less people die. Actually, that's a good question. I wonder, do more people die in Portrush than are dying in Punta Cana? I'm not sure, but what I will say is that
good question.
I would say that the Valley Course, it's kind of shitty.
It's just not fair because it's up against one of the best out there.
Well, and here's the other thing about it. So traditionally, you can be a member of you can be a member of both, but you can also be a member of one or the other. Mm-hmm. Traditionally, the Catholics were members of the Valley Course, the shit one, and the Protestants,
which makes sense. Yeah.
Protestants were members of the Dunluce Course. So that's traditionally how it broke down. Graham McDowell is grew up playing golf there. He would have grown up playing the Valley Course more because he was a Catholic kid. Mm-hmm. And both great courses. What else?
Amazing. No, I was just thinking through that whole Protestant Catholic thing. That's some wild stuff. Okay, so the location of this course, we're specifically thinking about Dunluce.
It's really, really far north. It's funny when you drive up there, you kind of drive like 90% of the way in about 2.5 hours from Dublin, I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And then the last 10% takes you fucking an hour and 40
What kind
minutes.
of terrain are you driving through?
You're just driving on tiny fucking little roads, little hilly fucking...
Just big plains with like hills or what?
Little country roads, kind of like that, yeah.
So let me ask you this.
To the coast.
It just dawned on me. You told me that in Ireland there weren't many cart paths, there weren't many clubs with...
For golf carts? No, there's none.
Are there any at this course?
Absolutely.
Like there's just no cart paths?
Absolutely not. Not one cart path to be found.
I think that's fascinating, and I think that would be such a beautiful thing to see.
Yeah, I think there's little like stone gravel walking paths, like
but there's no carts
around the back of the green where you like drag your. So what we do, we walk. You put a little push cart, exactly, a little area for to use that. But no, there's no golf carts.
None of that trash.
No.
All right, so location. I'm gonna limp through this. I copy pasted the description of where the course is located in terms of like geographic area. It's difficult to say. So here we go. Situated in the North Antrim Causeway coast.
Yeah, you said that right.
Okay. Royal Portrush occupies a triangle of giant sand hills with views of the hills of Inishowen.
Yeah, that was well said.
Thank you. I've been practicing.
Okay.
In County Donegal?
In County Donegal.
Shit. Okay. In the west.
Yeah.
The Isle of Islay and South Hebrides.
I'm just going to let you keep going because it's actually funnier.
In the north.
When you say it.
With the Giant's Causeway.
Giant's Causeway, yeah. Very famous geographic landmark.
To the east. Mm-hmm. And then the course is overlooked by the ruins of 13th century Dunluce Castle, which gives its name to the course.
Yeah.
So there you have it. So there's like on every vantage of this course, east, south, northwest, there are beautiful, interesting,
like a view of the castle and stuff. Yeah,
landscape. And I just botched all of it, so it was hard probably for you guys to visualize what I was describing. But just take my word for it is an absolutely stunning, breathtaking place.
Picturesque. I mean, it's just as amazing on looking at photographs as it is in person. It's equally amazing.
So the history, we covered this a little bit. The Open was last held at Royal Portrush in 1951. It was the first occasion that had been held outside of Scotland or England, which is of note, and it hasn't been since, and it is this year for the first time since then. So it's kind of wild. There are 3 holes of note, 3 signature holes, which I think this is something that you could speak to especially well since you've played it before. Yeah. So let's start in chronological order. The 4th, called Fred Daly.
Fred Daly, yeah.
Why is it called that?
Fred Daly.
Do you know?
It's called Fred Daly's hole. I actually don't know. I should know. So Fred Daly is a famous Irish golfer.
Sure.
Maybe he's one of the most famous, one of the best Irish golfers that ever lived. Fred Daly won the Open Championship. He was the first Irish golfer to ever win a major.
He's John Daly's great-great-great-great-great-grandfather.
Yeah, great-grandfather.
Okay,
He taught John Daly how to play.
Before he moved to Arkansas.
Exactly.
Okay, good. I got you.
And yeah, he was the first Irish person ever to win a major. He won the Open. But yeah, his hole is the 4th. And it's funny, I was actually just texting with a mate of mine earlier on today.
Yes.
And I was saying how I remember, it was the 4th hole that I was playing.
Is it one of your boys that's there right now?
Yeah, that there. He's living in Ireland, and they went up for the practice round.
Right.
So I was there. They host a tournament there every year called the North of Ireland Amateur Championship.
Yes.
So in Ireland we have 5 major amateur championships. We have the Irish Amateur, the North, the South, the East, and the West.
Okay.
So the 5 biggest tournaments. So I used to play in the North of Ireland every year, and the North of Ireland is held in Portrush. And the format is the same as the US Amateur. So everyone plays 36 holes stroke play, and then the top 64 go into match play. So one plays 64.
We discussed this before, didn't we? Yeah.
So I was playing, one year I was playing, and I got to the 4th hole. 4th hole is a really difficult par 4. Class hole. There's
and that's the hole we're talking about, right?
Yeah, the hole we're talking about. Fred Daly's hole. There's out of bounds, tight all the way down the right. There's shit all the way on the left, and bunkers on the fairway, and it's a long par 4.
You want me to read the description real quick?
What does it say?
Okay, let's get people's imaginations going.
Yeah.
Okay, the 4th hole is a long par 4, which is more than 480 yards, with out of bounds right and thick rough on the left.
Yeah, like gorse bushes and thick rough and shit.
Nasty rough.
Yeah.
There are several bunkers in the undulating fairway, and the green is placed between 2 small sand hills. What is a sand hill supposed to look like? Is that just a dune that's in the middle of this beautiful green fairway?
Yeah, it's like a kind of little.
I'm just imagining Mad Max sand dunes being dropped size of the green.
It's a little rolling little hill where it can kind of carom your ball in either direction.
Sure.
But it's in the middle of the fairway, you'll have little hills, right? Little rolling sand. They're called sand dunes just because they're made by the sand. They're natural to the land, and they just built a fairway over.
So the other key characteristic of a links golf course is that it's more determined by the weather and the natural landscape.
Yeah, it's how we found it.
More so than the shaping of a hole's fairway or
kind of, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I was reading about. Is that this would make a lot of sense. Is that they've got all of these natural pieces of geography or whatever you want to call it that just kind of shape the hole.
So anyway,
so that's what we're working
back
with
to my
here,
story.
4th.
Right, the 4th hole, I ripped driver down the middle.
Okay.
And I think this is probably the only time I've ever fucking done this, right?
Yeah.
So over the back of the green as well, it's just shit. There's just bushes and gorse bush and shit. And ripped driver down the middle. And when I got to my ball, I don't know why I did this, but I put my bag down and I was pacing off the distance from my golf ball to the nearest sprinkler head,
which is gives you the
yardage to the hole. And instead of I was walking, so I got to the sprinkler, and then I paced out 28 paces to where my ball was. And I put my bag down, and instead of subtracting from the number, I fucking added. So let's say the sprinkler was 175,
right?
And I paced out 28 paces to get 193, right?
Yeah. I can't count, but
no, you're right.
I think it's 203, right?
Yeah, 203.
Yeah.
So to get 203, I got 203. That's what I did in my head, instead of actually subtracting the 25 and getting 140 something or whatever. Yeah. And so, I don't know, how it didn't click in my head.
Do you remember if there's breeze in the face?
No,
breeze
it was
behind?
flat cam because I was wearing rain gear and it was kind of raining.
Okay.
But it was flat cam. And I remember obviously, if you look at if you're 148 from the hole and you're looking at the flag,
right,
there's a big difference between 148 and 203.
Yeah.
And your brain should pick that up.
You should be able to see that.
But I was so, I don't know, not dialed in, but just maybe not focused enough to where I just went, okay, you add that on. And I took out 5-iron instead of 9-iron,
sure,
like it was. And I absolutely nutted this 5-iron right at the flag. And I remember after I hit it, I looked up and I was like, oh wow, I hit that good. And then in the air, I was like, fuck, something doesn't look right about that golf ball. Like,
that flag is really big.
Yeah, it's going really far. And it airmailed the green by like 35 yards straight into a bush. And I looked down and I went, oh my God, I'm after fucking adding instead of subtracting.
Yes.
So yeah, one of the only times I've ever done that.
Have you ever noticed that when you're out in like the plains or like somewhere that's really flat and you can see forever?
Yeah.
The distances get more distorted. And I'm not saying that's how it is here in Royal Portrush. I'd imagine it's more hilly.
Well, there is.
But I would imagine that kind of ups and downs and
yeah, there's
topography.
on that hole, I think what happened on the fourth, there's a big like dip kind of before the green and like the way the sand dunes roll in the fairway. And I just kind of, I guess I probably looked at it and thought, it's deceiving. Like there's a big dip there and it's making it look closer than it is.
Sure.
So I just kind of went with it. And yeah, anyway, I made like fucking 7 or triple bogey or something like that. But yeah, great hole, the fourth.
Good salvage though.
Yeah.
If you're in one of them, if you're up a bush ass, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, in a gorse bush.
There it is.
Yeah,
what the hell is a gorse bush?
Gorse bush. It's just the word you use for one of those thick, like thorny
like
bushes.
An 80s porn bush?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Nasty.
So then the next hole is the fifth, right?
That's fifth, and it's called White Rocks.
Absolutely fantastic hole. You walk up then to the fifth tee, and it's kind of on this elevated little plateau stage, and you're looking down at the ocean and the green in the distance. So the hole is only like, it's 350 from the back tee.
Yeah.
And on it, like when it's sunny and on a nice day, it's a dog leg left to right. And so on a direct line from the tee to the green, you can kind of cut the dog leg because there's not a whole lot there. There's a bit of rough in the way, but not a whole lot. And if there's any kind of downwind, you can knock it on the green.
But like if you go long, are you in trouble? Like, do you have to be accurate with the distance? Or can you just mash and just see what happens?
You just kind of mash and see what happens. And that's what you'll see all the players doing this week.
You think so, huh?
Oh, no,
that's going to be the strategy.
Yeah, they were saying that my mates that were up there were saying everyone that got on the tee they took out driver and it's mash city at the green. They said it was into the wind actually in the practice round, and DJ was hitting driver, mashing driver, and he was about 30 yards short into the wind. So from 350. So yeah, you just stand up and whack it at the green.
I posted a slow motion video of DJ hitting driver out at one of his practice rounds.
Yeah,
it sounds like a fucking scene out of Lethal Weapon. It's like it sounds like it's just exploding. So here's the description of the fifth. The hole is relatively short, downhill, par 4 with a dog leg to the right. It has no bunkers, but a heavily undulating green perched on the edge of a large drop down to the beach and has views across the White Rocks beach.
Yeah, it's a fucking stunning hole.
And the Dunluce Castle, after which the course was named.
Yeah, it's a hole that every day that they stand up on, you're thinking 3.
All right, so the fifth's good. This is the last one. The 16th is the third and
Calamity.
final signature hole, but this is the best one. Is that correct?
It's
the most notorious.
It's the most notorious. It's one of the most famous par 3s in the world. It's also one of the scariest fucking holes you will ever stand on in your life.
And it's called Calamity Corner.
Yeah, it's called, or a lot of people I didn't even know it was called Calamity Corner. A lot of people just call it Calamity. Yeah.
That's what it said on Wikipedia, that the people who are cool and who play there, they call it just Calamity.
Calamity, right.
All the nerds call it Calamity
Yeah,
Corner.
exactly.
Okay, so the 16th, let me give you a quick description. Named Calamity Corner, but locally known as just Calamity, is a long 236-yard uphill par 3. It is played to a green over a huge ravine short and right, with mounds and hollows.
There's dead bodies and bones in that ravine.
Is that right?
And snakes, yeah.
Well, snakes are worse.
Yeah, where St. Patrick sent all those snakes into this ravine. Yeah, so don't hit it in there.
Yeah, don't go in there, or just leave your ball in there. Yeah. So with mounds and hollows to the back and left of the green. So there's just shit everywhere, basically.
Yeah, it's just really fucking scary and intimidating. When you stand on the tee, especially if it plays into the wind, you stand back there, and especially if you're off the back, it's 235. And it looks like, because of the ravine, it also looks like it's like 400 yards away.
You got to clear you literally probably do have to clear 260, right? If you're going that far uphill.
If it's into the wind, if it's into the wind, there's a little more room left. You can kind of play to the left side.
Where you won't be totally fucked with all the dead
there's like
people.
A little kind of strip of like fairway-ish to the left, and you can mash it up there and get away with it more. But I just remember standing on it for the first time going, what? Like, what the fuck is this?
So what'd you do? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember I hit a really good shot so my most vivid memory of it actually is it's another good story. I was playing, I don't know if it was the same year that I did my miscalculation.
Okay.
But I was playing in the north again, and I'd shot like 75 on the Valley course, which wasn't very good.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was maybe 1 over on the Dunluce course, standing on 16T, which was a good score. And I knew that the cut for the match play for the top 64 was going to be around
This was a competitive tournament.
Yeah, this is in the north. Yeah, and the cut was going to be about 5 over, right? And so I was going to be inside the cut line, but I'm getting to the Calamity hole now. And I remember I was hitting 3-iron. It probably wasn't 236. It was probably maybe 215 or something into the wind.
Sure.
And I just remember being nervous as fuck. And I hit one of the best shots I've ever hit in my life up there to like 8 feet. Right at the flag. I missed the putt though. Missed the putt, made par.
Still, damage averted.
Yeah, damage averted. But actually, funny thing about that fucking year. So I got in and I shot 2 over. And I remember standing and waiting and counting at what place I was. So there's a big truck outside the clubhouse where they post all the scores. And I could kind of count how many people were ahead of me. And I was playing late in the day. And so I knew I had to be inside the top 64. That's all I needed. So when I'm standing there, I'm counting and I'm like in like 52nd or 3rd kind of what I'm thinking at this point. I'm like, okay, I think I'm more than safe here. So then I go home and there's an email. I read an email that's sent out by the Golfing Union of Ireland, who are the people that host the event. And they write an email and they said, so what we've decided is we are reserving 6 spots in the match play for 6 guys that did not play in the stroke play. Okay. And these 6 players were the 6-man Irish team that went to play in the European Championship. They flew back the night of the second round of the stroke play. On that team was Rory McIlroy, Shane Lowry, Seamus Power, who are, I don't know, maybe Seamus Power isn't playing this week, but Seamus Power, Rory and Shane were all on it with 3 other amateurs who I can't remember who was on it, but I remember those guys were on it. So those 6 guys got exempt through stroke play, and so they were only taking 58 and ties, and I ended up finishing tied 60th. So I fucking missed on the match play because of those cunts.
Fucking Rory.
And I remember receiving that email and going, oh, fuck. And I didn't know where I was yet. And I went and quickly looked at the results.
Yeah.
And I was outside the top 58. I was tied 60th. I missed it by 2 spots.
Somebody got in on alternate spot for this week. And the email that is sent to them, there was like a picture of it online. And it was like, hey, you made it. Thanks.
Cheers.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like maybe like 7 words.
I kind of like that.
And like the guy who I remember, like people were talking about the guy. He's like, "Oh my god!"
It's not like the fucking Masters invite that you get like in the mail, and everyone frames it. It was just like someone from the RNA's like personal Yahoo account going, "Here, by the way, hey, you're playing this week if you want.
You're fucked, by the way."
Yeah. But here, so the last thing I'll say in Calamity is
so that whole 16 of the
crazy. I'm really looking forward to. I hope in the last round that they play it all the way back. So they won't play it all the way back every day. The weather will determine. The pros would get kind of annoyed, I'd say.
Sure.
So they'll move it up so it's not as difficult, especially when they're looking at the forecast and seeing where the wind is and the rain and all that. But it would be awesome if on Sunday they played it all the way back. And if it's close on Sunday, you're just going to see some bad shots, and you're going to see some people having to go down into that fucking ravine and hit some golf balls.
Let me ask you a selfish question.
And they may never come out.
Let me ask you a selfish question.
Go for it.
Can you lay up?
That's the greatest part about the hole.
You can't?
Absolutely fucking not. There's no bailout. It's just, that's why it's so scary.
You can't hit like a 7-iron down there and then chip up for bogey?
No, you can't like chip a hybrid running it up like you normally do.
Hey.
No, you can't do that. That's the scariest part about it. Like you stand on the tee and you just go, what?
I'm imagining this being like the 10th at Lions, but with nothing, you can't lay up. You have to hit driver.
Well, yeah.
Or if you're actually good, you could hit like a normal club.
Kind of, yeah. It's imagine the 10th at Lions, but all the fairway and that's all 100 feet below you, and it's just garbage, and it's just the green. And
so it's just like Lions.
It's just the green and that little strip, and you just go, wait, what? Like I have to hit it up there?
I'd rather be forced to hit driver than have to fucking lay up at Lions.
Then rather have the opportunity to chip with a hybrid like you normally do.
No, that's a putting stroke.
Sorry. Okay.
I only do that from like 75 yards and in when it's nice.
That's true.
All right. Thank you for
for
bringing up my hybrid weakness. I feel like it would play in Ireland.
Yeah, you actually would with your fucking game. You do real well.
Yeah.
You fucking bump and run everywhere.
I can hit out of a 80s bush all day.
And what's funny about what you do, like when you do it, when you take out your clubs that you do over here on the around the greens when we play together, like you kind of get a look like on what the fuck is this guy doing? Whereas if you do it in Ireland, it's like, oh yeah, this lad's played a lot of links golf here.
My strategy. Yeah, I'm being judged as soon as I get my hybrid out to putt off the side of the green.
Whereas if you were at Portrush playing, everyone would be going, oh, this guy's played a lot of links golf before.
Savvy.
He's a savvy veteran.
Look at this guy. He's got great hair. He's handsome as hell.
Right, exactly.
Looks a lot like Robert Rock.
He's another person who could win this week.
He's in it.
I think he is, right?
I bet he just got his hair
did. Yeah, he
did
because how well he did at the Irish Open. Yeah,
that's right.
We actually joked today about him winning just because if the weather's shit, and he almost won the Irish Open in the shit weather. But yeah, no, he will not win.
Let's move on to storylines. You ready to get into it? Mm-hmm. This is the best part of the podcast. Thank you guys for hanging in there, letting us do our nerdy historical stuff.
Well, no, let Brad do his nerdy shit.
Well, that's right.
Go on.
Yeah, but you're part of us. You're the Royal We.
Well, that's true.
The Royal Portrush We. Storylines. Number 1, the kid from Northern Ireland. I put together some really clever marketing headlines for my storylines. So the kid from Northern Ireland is in reference to Rory McIlroy.
He's from Hollywood in Northern Ireland. That's where actually the town where he's from.
Is it nice?
It's called no, it's a shithole.
Okay. So
yeah,
Rory McIlroy opened his professional golf career with the 61 at this same course.
No, he was not a professional. That's incorrect information.
Really?
Yeah.
So he opened his career in the professional circuit? No, that's not true.
No, absolutely.
So when he shot 61
it was in the north of Ireland Amateur Championship that I played in. I was playing it that year.
Look at that. You were there.
I was playing.
You witnessed.
Yeah.
Was this when you heard him moving his hips and it was just a whoosh sound?
No, it wasn't that year. But at college, this is the best part about that year.
Yeah.
So Rory was 16. He shot 61 in the second round of. I don't know what he shot on the Valley course.
I just have the 61s written down here.
So then he went and played the Dunluce course in the stroke play part to get into match play. And he shot 61. Right. It's a new course record. And the whole place was going crazy, and there was thousands of people, and it was amazing, right?
That's right. However, this was 14 years
however,
ago.
Like that, it won nothing. That just meant he got into the match play, right? He'd done nothing with that 61. Then in the match play, he got drawn against one of my close friends and college golf teammate from Ireland. He also went to Francis Marion University, played college golf. His name's Andrew Pitcher.
Which is where you went.
Yep. His name's Andrew Pitcher, one of my close friends. And Andrew Pitcher beat him 5-4.
That's right.
In the match play.
He curb stomped him because he took your spot in that tournament.
Exactly. I had a bone to. I told Andy about what happened, and he said he wouldn't let me down.
He's
and
like McIlroy's silver platter little bitch.
But yeah, that's the one of the funny things about that 61 was one of my buddies went on to actually hammer him in the match play
right after.
And obviously,
I guess that tends to happen when you're that young.
Yeah,
you go up and down, right?
A little bit of that, but he would have had. There were so many people watching, so much expectation. Everyone expected him to go out and win, especially after he just shot 61.
He's the Irish Tiger Woods at this point, right?
Exactly. Yeah, it was
okay.
great.
So this was 14 years ago at the same golf course that they're playing on this weekend. He shot a 61.
Not exactly the same. Only reason I say not exactly, they redid a couple of holes.
That's right. Yeah. So for the purposes of storytelling, Rory perennially, that's a tough word to say, one of the best golfers on the planet and arguably the best open player over the last 5 years.
Yeah, he is the best record, best stroke average.
He has the most top 10s.
Yeah, he's finished 3 of them and he's won 1. Yeah.
He returns home to the place where it all started and he shot a 61.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part. Yeah, he had the course record, but now with the changes, whoever shoots the lowest round this week will have the new course record.
So that story is the kid from Ireland.
Well, that's a good story. The last thing I'll say on Rory is
excellent.
He's the favorite with the bookies this week.
That's right. He's even with Brooks, I think.
Yeah, I've kind of been saying to anyone that has listened to me or asked my opinion of who I think there's too much pressure on him. Mm-hmm. I don't think he does really well when there's lots of pressure like this. Mm-hmm. He's not great under this lots of pressure. He's great when he's ahead and he's playing well and he's a great front runner. He's not great with a lot of pressure. I'd actually be more inclined to, if I was going to gamble on Rory this week, I would be more inclined to bet on him to miss the cut because you'd get good value on him missing the cut.
Yeah,
and if the weather's bad with all the pressure,
that was my question.
It's not going to be that difficult
because his golf game's pretty, right?
No, his golf game's great in rain and great in bad conditions.
At everything, but
because he's a nice tight draw. He can control his ball flight, all that kind of stuff. He's a good history in rain. I'm just saying there's a lot of pressure on him, and wouldn't shock me to see him MC.
Wow. Yep. There you have it. The favorite is predicted by Peter the Irish guy to miss the cut. Maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
That's right. Right on the heels of Rory McIlroy, my second headline, Graham McDowell 2, as in TOO.
Okay.
Because like Rory, McDowell is coming home.
Graham McDowell.
That's right. Only if you're in Ireland, though.
Yeah. Yeah. Massive result for GMAC. I think.
That's what you call him, GMAC?
Yeah, I guess that's what he's called.
Is he an Apple product?
Yes, he is. He is an Apple product, actually.
I got you.
But no, he's been. So he's had a little bit of resurgence in terms of his game recently. The last few years have been tough for Graham as the courses get longer and all these guys hit it further. He's kind of left behind, and there's only a very specific type of golf course tournament that he can win on. Similar to kind of what's happened to Luke Donald, just kind of fucking hits it nowhere, and he was kind of good. But once these courses are
kind of first in the world at one point.
Well, no, he was real good. But once these guys are hitting it so far, and you've got to hit it miles, they can't compete. But Graham held that putt at the Canadian Open.
That's where I was going with this.
Yeah, the long putt to get in, which is so huge.
So he's emotionally charged. This is his homecoming, literally, because you said he grew up playing here, right?
Yeah, exactly. Way more so even than Rory.
So he wanted this bad. He wanted
more
it
than
so
anyone
bad.
else.
And he didn't get in. He didn't get into the field until like June 6th of this year, like a month and like 2 days ago.
Yeah, exactly.
So like he is jacked.
You know what? I wouldn't have been surprised.
I don't know if that's good, but he is.
I wouldn't have. Well, maybe I would have. I don't know the RNA. What I was going to say was, I wouldn't have been shocked if the RNA had have given him a special exemption into it. It would have been one of those things where I would have gone, wouldn't have shocked me because he's a US Open champ. You know, he's done a lot.
Didn't
in
he compete
golf.
This year in one of the majors? I feel
Yeah,
like he was in the top.
He played at Pebble Beach and he played well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the top like fucking 20.
His game's actually better than it's been in years past, right?
No, absolutely. That's why I said he's had a little resurgence in his game and he's been playing well. Again, with Graham, I'd be surprised if he was thereabouts.
Sure. He barely made it.
Yeah, and there's just, think of the pressure on him. Think of the home support and all.
Right.
It could be one of those things that kind of carries him through and he steps his game up and it's on emotion. But in golf, that's rare. In golf, that makes it harder.
Emotion's not good.
Because it's exactly.
You have to be calculated and controlled.
You've got to forget. It's got to act. It's got to be like just
touch.
any other golf tournament. That extra emotion normally 9 times out of 10 fucks you. And you never do it.
My opinion, you must be a complete robot, but have the charisma of a flaming, burning sun ball of fire like Tiger if you want to be good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Or if you want to be famous.
Yeah.
Or you could just be a dud like DJ, like Wet Towel.
I think, the best golfers are the ones that kind of don't care and they go out with that attitude. Kind of like Koepka has this attitude, doesn't give a fuck.
But he kind of is pissed all the time, but not really.
Yeah.
He's always like at a proper level of piss.
Exactly. With GMAC this week, it's going to be very difficult
That's right.
to play well. It's too much emotion. Who we got next?
Next is the forecast, which I wrote 0 notes about. I just figured we'd talk a little bit about it because it's probably going to change between now and when this fucking podcast gets dropped.
Yeah.
It changes like dramatically all the time. But so like you were saying, Rory's a favorite.
DJ's a favorite.
And these were all made prior to when the weather forecasts were officialized, whatever you want to call it. So what it sounds like is it's going to be rainy and windy and nasty.
Yeah, I was looking it up, and the weather's been amazing, right, the whole time.
For the whole practice round.
And today, apparently, was the last day. It's going to be nice. It's going to be shitty from Wednesday through till Sunday. Or at least the forecast says it's going to rain and be windy.
Right.
Now, the only thing that actually really wouldn't affect the top of the leaderboard, I was looking at an article. Well, I was looking at an article today, which was the top 25 players in rain that play in rainy conditions.
Okay.
Bad weather conditions in the last from 2014. So in any tournament in rain, bad weather conditions from 2014 until now, right? Until 2019.
So the last 4.
And it ranked the best 25. So compared to strokes gained, their normal strokes gained, and then their strokes gained when it's bad weather. And the top of that bad weather chart is it's Rory, it's Stenson, it's Brooks Koepka, it's Dustin Johnson. It's all the best guys. The only kind of
Stenson's is inflated from 2016 though.
Well, that's
was the
true.
Terminator in that.
But there's a couple of guys that got added into the mix. So Zach Johnson, Adam Scott, Kistner. There were a few guys that got added in that wouldn't normally have been in the top 25, but Ricky Fowler was another one who in bad weather plays really fucking good.
Really?
Ricky Fowler's a notorious, like in the Open when it pisses rain, it's really bad weather, plays really well. It's guys that have it's guys that are great ball strikers, right? Okay. That's the first thing. Because if it's pissing rain and it's windy, you have to hit it flush.
Yeah.
And then it's guys that are able to control the ball flight and they don't hit it very far offline, right?
Because you need it to stay low, right?
Because you have to be able to hit it very low.
Well, I guess it depends if it's windy or if it's wet. Yeah, because if it's wet, you want it to go far. But if it's windy, you want it to go low, right?
Yeah, well, you have to be able to move it right to left. There's just all these little things that the bad weather guys do. The number one is that you got to be the flush. You hit it so flush. Tom Watson, the greatest bad weather golfer of all time, he probably strikes the golf ball better than anyone that's ever lived.
I feel like you really need a hybrid in your bag for putting off the side of the green in bad weather.
I mean, you'd be up there. So yeah, bad. I think the weather's gonna be bad, and that'll mean that a very kind of specific type of player is going to play well.
I've been Googling weather in Royal Portrush. It's all kilometers and grams and
liquid ounces.
It means the same as if it was the goddamn Mars.
Chinese.
I don't know what's happening here.
All right, what's next on the storyline?
Wet. Onward and upward. This is where we get into some of the storylines that are people who are making history with how many majors they have won.
Yeah.
So this first headline, you ready for this?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5th, like Dave Chappelle. Okay. So the two favorites this week, Rory McIlroy and Brooks Koepka, are both going for their 5th major championship.
Oh, okay.
So that's the relevance there at the headline. There are only 13 golfers in history of the sport with more than 5 major championships. So it's important. It's a milestone. It's a massive deal.
Yeah, I mean,
and we're looking at a super talented Rory McIlroy who's coming home, and a Terminator in Brooks Koepka who just...
It wouldn't surprise me at all if Brooks won. Rory, on the other hand, I'm not sure.
You know what doesn't surprise me? When Brooks competes in major championships.
Yeah, did you hear his comments today?
No, I bet
it was pretty funny.
Are they good or dumb?
It was fun. I loved them. I thought it was funny. I was texting my brother about it, and he fucking hated what he said. In his interview, he said that he doesn't ever practice.
Yeah.
During regular PGA Tour events.
I saw this.
Yeah, and he was saying that
what you see on TV is
when I play. He goes, he shows up Tuesday nights to the PGA Tour, plays in the Pro-Am on Wednesday, and then goes home and then plays the 4 rounds and kind of bounces. The only time he hits the range is during the majors. I love that. I think it shows how fucking good he is. It shows that probably golf... isn't his first real fucking passion. It shows he'd rather be
lifting weights or something.
Well, yeah.
You know he's in the gym in the morning.
I mean...
He's like, even on the Monday, Sunday morning of major Open Championship, he's like, I'm going to go get a real quick lift in.
Yeah, if he
seems
passion. Like one of those athletes that he could have played baseball if he wanted. He could have done another sport. He happened to pick golf. He's going to make a ton of money. He'll probably retire kind of earlier from the game because he's had enough of it, and that's kind of the way it'll be. Once he's kind of gotten to maybe 10 major wins. But yeah, I thought it was great.
Okay.
What else we got?
We got majors only is my next headline. This is about Tiger. In the same vein as Brooks Koepka, Tiger Woods has played in just 1 non-major since his win at the Masters in April this year. Tiger's going for his 16th major championship this week. And while he enters the week seemingly rusty, this is my own personal opinion, I'm not about to count him out. Truly, anything is possible with Tiger Woods. But like you said, the weather makes it interesting. He's rusty. The odds are stacked against him. What are your feels? What do you think?
I am... So I'm going to read you some of the texts from my golfing...
these are your boys that
these are my boys that were members of the club that I grew up with. Some of my best friends. And they all went up for the practice round. And they're all really good, all scratch golfers themselves, right? Really good players.
And they weren't drunk sending you.
No.
Semi-drunk.
They were not. But I'll read one. A couple of the quotes are pretty funny.
Okay.
One of them just says, Tiger looks like he's about to die. Definite miscut if it's shit weather, which it will be.
Just from walking the course?
Yeah.
He looks just banged up?
Yeah.
Exhausted? Maybe you should read their first name so we can get some Irish names out there.
His name is Morgan.
Okay.
Who read that.
Okay.
One of my next mates, his name is Aiden, and he wrote, Tiger looks so frail, like every step is his last. So he just... And that kind of goes on the theme of what everyone's kind of been fragile. Saying.
which is why he probably hasn't been
when
playing.
He's walking around so slowly, he knows he can't play because if he plays, that's just too much stress on his body.
Right.
He said 17 events last year was way too many. I mean, 17 is fucking, it's barely half a season on the tour. There's like 30, some guys play 30 events, so it's about half a season. You can't show up. Well, no, I say you can't. It's very unlikely that you can show up, especially to major championships, not having played in any other events. So he showed up to the Masters, well prepped, had played 4 times, was hitting the ball both ways, was able to flight the ball, and he played great and he won.
Right. But
then every other event since, he's only played one actual regular tour event, Memorial, right. And every time he showed up, he's been underprepared. He hasn't had control of his ball flight. And he's making an appearance. And he knows if he plays well, he may be able to scrape out a top 10 and kind of get around the number. But he's never going to be able to beat a Brooks Koepka or a DJ if he's playing well, or Rory if he's dialed in. No chance that he gets to do that. So
when the pedal's down, he can't keep up, you don't think?
Well, not if he's not playing.
Not if he's rusty.
So it's one of those. But from his interview today, I thought it was interesting that he said, the interviewer asked him that very question, and Tiger's response was, well, listen, I want to play for 10 more years. If you want me to play for 10 more years, I can't play every week. Kind of like I can only kind of play the majors plus a few others. So
which is fine.
Yeah.
But maybe play like 2 or 3 in between instead.
And it's kind of like, he's kind of saying, listen, if I'm going to do it, this is kind of it's going to be like this.
Yes.
And this is how it's going to be. And I'm going to have to learn how to win this way, because there isn't another option. I mean, listen, all the pain that he had, he was barely able to fucking walk.
Right.
He was barely able to live. So, yeah, I mean, I think having him back is great. You can't expect him to win.
No, absolutely not. If he doesn't play if he doesn't get the reps.
This is probably the first time I've ever heard him say, when he was asked how his game was, he said, my game isn't where it needs to be. Now, he followed that up with, my short game is right where it needs to be, right? So he did say something positive, but his first comment was, no, my game isn't where it needs to be. Because he knows he hasn't fucking put in the time. So, yeah, I would say Tiger, again, way more likely to miss, especially if the weather's shitty, Tiger's going to MC. That's just the way it's going to be. Because he's not stressing himself out, grinding out in bad weather for a fucking tied 48. Right. If he's in and around the cut line and he's miles back, see you fucking later.
But if he's in contention, you think he pushes. But
obviously, yeah.
But can he? That's the question.
No. The answer's no.
Especially not if he's as fragile as your buddies seem to think he looks like.
The answer's no.
So next headline, fasting Mickelson.
Yeah, what a fucking maniac. That's the story, that the video he posted to Instagram was kind of bizarre.
Weird.
Very weird. And so Mickelson,
it was in line with like what old people would post. Like some real weird old man shit.
So Mickelson Instagram is maybe the funniest, most followable Instagram page in the last year, right? Yeah. It's amazing. It's the best page in golf. He's wonderful. He's hilarious, and he's kind of, everyone's kind of come around and everyone loves him. And then he posts this. Listen, he's been playing shitty. He's been missing a lot of cuts, and he kind of just came across as, Jesus, he's kind of losing the plot a little bit. He lost 15 pounds in like fucking 6 days.
So for those of you who haven't seen it, he's 49 years old, and he posted a video a couple of days ago saying that he went on he lost 15 pounds on a 6-day water and coffee fast leading up to the event.
Yeah.
Which I used fasting Mickelson as a double entendre because he is also fasting in top 10s in major championships. It has been 3 years since Phil has placed in the top 10 at a major. The last time he was in the top 10, it was a runner-up finish to Henrik Stenson in 2016, which we briefly covered. Amazing, Like probably one of the best Open championships of all time.
The final round of them dueling out was amazing.
So the two of them just battled it out and were just so head over heels better than the rest of the field. Mickelson ended up finishing 11 strokes ahead at third place and 3 shots behind Stenson.
Jesus Christ, that's crazy.
That's just a missed. That's bad luck, man.
Yeah,
that's a major championship in any other year.
Yeah, Phil this week, again, I would give him fucking 0 to none chance of winning this week. He seems like he's kind of lost the plot a little bit right now. Remember, he went vegan for like 9 months at one point. Thought it'd help his golf game. I don't know. He's a little quirky.
Losing 15 pounds on a 6-day cleanse, that's going to fuck with your your stamina, with your concentration.
I bet he's going to feel great, though. I bet he feels light in his feet, and I bet he feels great. But I think he's just playing too shitty to have a chance.
Borderline malnutrition.
Yeah, I mean, listen, he had a few LBs that he could lose.
They didn't call him Hefty for nothing.
Yeah, Hefty lefty.
Okay, this next one's for you, buddy.
Okay.
The headline: Peter loves Spieth.
Wow, interesting.
Okay, so here it is. Let me read you the quick run through here. Spieth, working through one of the toughest years of his young career, is on the verge of breaking through, which we've talked about a couple of times on Backdoor Cover previously. Spieth enters the week behind only Rory McIlroy in top 10 finishes at the Open over the last 5 years. His putting is incredible, and if he can find magic with his irons, look out.
Yeah, I mean, I was all over Spieth there around the time of the PGA going into the US Open. Mm-hmm. He was showing some signs.
Have you lost your crush?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
It's cooled.
Yeah, my penis, it's like someone has a cold spoon.
You got a little dog leg going on your dick?
Yeah, someone has kind of rested that cold spoon on top of my penis. Yeah,
a cold spoon.
Yeah, well,
sounds miserable.
A hot. Yeah, it does, right? It'd take your boner away pretty quickly. Yeah, I don't know about he's lost the momentum that he had. I'm not as confident as I once was that he will win a major like soon. The only thing I will say is that I fucking basically forgot he was playing this week, as probably half the rest of the people that are interested in it. No one has mentioned his name once in any kind of promo I've seen. I haven't seen any interviews he's done, and I'm all over the Open app. I'm all over, a bunch of different things. I haven't seen him anywhere.
You're hashtagging hard?
Yeah, exactly.
You're all up in that hashtag?
Yeah, so I haven't seen Spieth anywhere, which I don't know. I don't know if he likes. I don't know if he doesn't like, but
maybe he's going to come out and point out the hole and be like, get my ball, you little bitch. And he's going to win.
Yeah, he did that at the Open.
I do know.
Here's the other thing, though. I feel like I've been all over him, screaming that he's going to win here, he's going to win soon, and that he's going to win a major soon enough. If I was to now back down from that and he was to go and fucking win, I'd never live that down. So
where do you stand now?
So I'm going to say if I had 5 picks, if I was to give you my best 5 picks, Spieth will be one of them.
Your 5th.
Yeah, he'd be in there. Let's just say I'm not going to.
I'm not going to rank him. Yourself out.
I'm not going to rank him. Yeah, I'm just going to put him in there.
Technically, he's in.
Yeah.
Our last storyline. You ready?
Yeah.
The finale is what I have called this storyline.
Okay.
So the Open, arguably the toughest, the best, certainly the oldest. A new descriptor can be added to the Open Championship this year. The last. With the PGA Championship having moved from August to May this year, the Open Championship becomes 2019's 4th and final major, and its conclusion marks the beginning of a 9-month stretch between majors, concluding with the Masters in April 2020. That's it. It's not a whole lot to talk about.
The one thing I said, the thing about the PGA was there was that fucking stupid fucking gay slogan that Jim Nantz always used to say about the PGA was it's glory's last chance, right? Because the PGA was
now it's glory's middle chance.
Yes, so now it's glory's irrelevant chance in the middle of the majors.
Mid-level glory hole.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, so sponsored
more by Jerry Jones.
Yeah, no more fucking overly dramatic Jim Nantz slogans for the PGA. But
hey, don't you hold your breath. He's coming back with something better.
Probably will. Yeah, last chance for a major. Do you want to pick?
Yeah, I got. So next is betting odds. So if you guys want to bet, we're about to give you some good bets. Go to mybookie.ag, use promo code BDC, get a double of your deposit, your bonus.
Yep.
You should do that.
Absolutely, get that double. Well, here you go. When you go on that website, I'm going to give you my picks.
Hold on.
Wait, are you going to give the running odds? Okay, give us the running odds.
Let's go through some important notes.
Then I'll give my top 5. Okay.
Yeah, and Spieth is number 3.5.
Okay.
The leaders. Oh, they are not neck and neck. Rory McIlroy is plus 850.
Yeah, he's the favorite, right?
Mm-hmm. Brooks Koepka is plus 1,000.
Here's the other thing. One last thing about Brooks.
Sure.
His caddy, his full-time caddy, is a member at Portrush.
Is that right?
Grew up playing there, so massive
And that's
advantage.
just coincidental, right?
Coincidental.
Like he didn't hire this guy because of this tournament.
He's a normal full-time caddy.
Sure.
So that's a huge advantage for him this week as well. If he didn't need any more fucking advantages.
Yeah. He also eats majors.
Yeah.
That's when he eats. Otherwise he starves.
Or otherwise, he doesn't eat. He fasts.
Like an Ethiopian.
He intermittent fasts.
Yeah, he just
only eats during the majors.
Drinks water and coffee and shits himself like Phil Mickelson. Dustin Johnson is your third best odds at plus 1,600, tied with Rom
Plays
at
well
plus
to win.
1,600.
Yeah,
Rom, your boy.
Yeah, I like Rom this week.
You picked him last week to win the Irish Open.
Yeah, he's going to be. I picked the correct winner of the Irish Open. Yeah, he's going to be in my top 5.
You think so, huh?
Yep.
Woods rounds out at 1,500. Rose at plus 2,000. Molinari at plus 2,500. So on and so forth. Justin Thomas is pretty far down at plus 3,000.
Yeah, he's been playing like absolutely.
He's got a fucked up arm. His wrist is busted.
Yeah, he's been playing like dog shit. Don't put any money on him.
Okay, you heard it here first. On mybookie.ag using promo code BDC, don't put money
on Justin
Thomas.
Yeah. What's our Sugar Shane at?
Let me see.
One of my buddies kind of likes Shane this week. He's playing well. Big fan of Portrush. He kind of doesn't really feel the pressure that the other Irish lads are feeling. He's got a great group as well. He's playing with Phil, and they're playing with Phil and who's the other? Who's the third in their group? It is Mickelson.
Mickelson is plus 10,000.
Okay, Mickelson plus 10,000. I'm getting up the
Swedish porn star.
Oh, Thorbjorn, one of my fucking favorite golfers. He's good value. He's gonna fucking win a major. You heard it here on this podcast first. Thorbjorn, the porn star, is gonna win a fucking major.
He wears a major league flat brim.
Yeah, I'm a big Thorbjorn guy.
I'm searching for Sugar Shane as we speak. Here he is, plus 7,000.
Love
That's
it.
pretty good.
Great value on that, and you can bet. So
he's just above Gary Woodland. I figure Gary Woodland is good
7,000.
though. Gary Woodland's plus 7,000 with Shane. Woodland hits a nasty stinger, like real low, nasty.
Yeah,
stinger.
hits a great ball.
He could be pretty good.
Yeah, they're fantastic odds on Woodland. Here's the thing though, Woodland just hasn't played. He hasn't played a round of golf since like the US Open.
True.
So he hasn't played at all. So that's why he's at those odds. You can't just tuck up. You can't just walk on.
You can't just stang it all the way down there.
Exactly. So hang on, who's in Mickelson's group? Who's that third player? And why won't it come up on my phone? Oh, there it is. Brendan Grace.
Aha.
Another good player who
I like Brendan Grace's
plays
game.
well in majors. All right. Here's my top 5. Here's my 5 picks.
Okay.
This week.
Let's have them. Hold on, let me write them down so we can make fun of you next week.
Okay, so my 5 players are this is in no order. These are just the 5 guys. I'm going to pick John Rahm. I am going to pick Jordan Spieth. They're the 2 I've said already. I'm going to pick Louis Oosthuizen.
Ooh.
Former Open champ at St. Andrews. He's been in the fucking hunt a lot recently, and he just feels like he's due to win. He plays well in big events.
I fucking love his swing.
Yeah,
it's such a pretty swing.
I'm a big fan. Number 4 this week is going to be Ricky Fowler for me. Ricky Fowler.
I thought you might do that.
Ricky Fowler is going to win one at some point, and if the weather is shitty,
yeah, you were saying
if the weather is shitty, Ricky Fowler plays well. That's just a fact. So he's going to win one eventually. I'm going to pick Ricky Fowler, and then my 5th and last pick this week is going to be...
While we're at it, Louis Oosthuizen can sing the shit out of Adele.
Oh, really? Can he?
Did you see him after
he
got second in the Open a couple years back and was singing?
So my last pick then is another great, another former Open champ, plays really good in bad weather. He's a shit putter.
Okay.
And the greens this week are going to be so slow, it's ridiculous. They're going to run at like 10 on the snip meter.
Which means that
putting doesn't really matter. It's going to be Adam Scott. Adam Scott is my 5th pick.
So old weird putter sticking in the middle of your solar plexus.
Hits it better than anyone else out there. Puts worse than anyone else out there.
Another beautiful swing.
Yeah. So it's Rahm, Spieth, Oosthuizen, Fowler, and Scott. They're my 5. Put money on all of them against the rest of the field. So there you go. Brad, who do you like? Give me 3. Give me your 3.
Okay. I've been thinking about this a little bit. So we already covered this. I like the stinger of Gary Woodland. I'm a little bit scared off that he hasn't played enough lately.
So is he in your 3?
I'm kind of talking myself out of it now that I've started thinking about it. But because of his odds, like if it was a thing I was doing based on odds, I'd take him.
Yeah.
But if I'm just taking top 3, no consequences, this, that, or the other, I like Hideki Matsuyama.
Okay.
I like Jason Day.
Okay, another good, but he plays well in bad weather. And
you can't go wrong with Brooks, but that's just such a cop-out. I I'm going to take Brooks in my... Okay. And I'm going to do 4, though. I like Justin Rose.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of fallen off a little bit because I feel like his clubs fucked him up a little bit. When you switch clubs, you just get fucked up.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's been just long enough for him to get comfortable with the Honma, or however you say that shit.
Okay, so you got Brooks, Rose, who else?
Matsuyama. And Koepka.
And, so Koepka, Rose, Matsuyama, and there was one other.
Day.
Oh, Jason Day. Okay. Yeah. All right. I like those picks.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? I mean,
so here we go. This is actually important for those of you trying to watch this tournament.
Yeah.
The broadcast schedule. So the first and second rounds, all these times are Eastern Standard. The first and second rounds, July 18th, 19th, Thursday, Friday, on the Golf Channel starting at 1:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Running till 4 p.m.
Yeah.
And it'll be like the early featured groups will be till like 9 a.m.
Yeah.
And then the late featured groups will be till 4 p.m. On the third round, Golf Channel is at 5 a.m. till 7 a.m. NBC takes over at 7 a.m., runs till 3. Fourth round, Golf Channel at 4 a.m. till 7 a.m. NBC from 7 a.m. till 2 p.m. I'm going to post all this stuff on our Instagram just so you can come find it because that shit is confusing.
Yeah,
and also,
where to watch.
If it's at 1:30 a.m. on Thursday, that's Wednesday night. Like, that shit gets backwards quick. We're talking like dead at night.
Especially after you've had a couple of fucking glasses of red wine. Then who knows? I've had a couple of White Claws. Who knows what TV you're watching?
So anyways, it starts Wednesday night, as in Thursday morning at 1:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's going to be fucking amazing.
Can't wait.
Closing remarks. Thank you so much. This is the inaugural episode, the official, the first, the Buttercut.
Love it.
We have created Instagram, Twitter accounts that you can follow us on at the Buttercut Podcast on Instagram, at the Buttercut Pod on Twitter. Peter, what's your Instagram account?
At Peter the Irish Guy.
At Peter the Irish Guy. You got Twitter? Or does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, neither does mine. Yeah. At Bradley B. Key is my Instagram account. Thank you so much for listening. We would be thrilled if you could subscribe, rate, review, tell your friends, tell your foursomes, tell your fathers, tell your daughters, tell your sons,
tell your
everybody.
threesomes.
Tell everybody you know.
Yeah.
Tell your menage a trois. Tell them all. We need as much support as we can get right off the bat. It's very important to our visibility in iTunes, and we appreciate every single bit of what you can do for us. Please spread the word. Thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us as we launched this new podcast. We can't wait to get going. I think that's it, and that's all.
That's it. Perfect.
The Open Championship.
Can't wait.
A production of MWBK Creative and Sales. Thank you so much for listening.
Bye-bye.